My parents insulted me in front of everyone at a family event. I stayed quiet and walked away, but what I did after that made them regret everything. I'm 27, and until that night, I still believed that maybe, just maybe, my parents would one day be proud of me. I'm not rich. I don't have a big house or a flashy job, but I work hard as a freelance designer. I pay my bills. I stay out of trouble. And more than anything, I've spent most of my life just wanting to make my parents happy. That's all I ever tried to do. So when I got an invite to my cousin's engagement party, I was nervous but still showed up. It was a huge family event, and I thought maybe this time things would be normal. Maybe they'd talk to me kindly. Maybe for once, I'd feel like I belonged. I got there alone, dressed neatly but simply. The hall was bright and full of laughter. Everyone was dressed in expensive clothes, taking pictures, laughing loudly, sharing stories. I could already feel eyes on me as I walked in. Not because I was important, but because I wasn't. I was the one who didn't make it like everyone else. I was the one still living in a small apartment, still working job to job, still not married. I tried to ignore it. I kept my head up and looked for my parents. They were sitting with a few relatives, laughing and drinking tea. As I walked toward them, my mother saw me first. Her smile faded, and her voice turned sharp. "Oh, look who finally decided to show up," she said loudly, so everyone around could hear. Maybe he heard there'd be free food. A few people laughed. My face got hot, but I smiled politely and tried to greet everyone. Before I could say a full sentence, my father jumped in. "You could have at least worn something nicer. You look like you came from a bus stop." More laughter. I felt like the ground under my feet was melting. I wanted to disappear. I tried to keep my calm. I said, "It's good to see you all." But my voice was drowned out by my mother again. "He always tries to act so polite at parties. But ask him what he's doing with his life. Still sitting at home, playing with his laptop. No job, no plan, no future." At that moment, I didn't know whether to cry or walk away. The people around us pretended not to listen, but I could feel their judgment. I could hear a cousin whisper something to her husband. I could see an aunt shaking her head like she was disappointed in me too. And the worst part? My parents looked proud of what they were doing, like they were showing everyone how tough they were on their lazy son. I didn't say a word. I just nodded lightly, turned around, and walked away. I left the hall, got into my car, and sat there in silence. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there thinking, why do I keep coming back to people who break me? That night, something in me changed. I realized that if I stayed quiet and let them keep treating me like this, I'd never get out of that shadow. I needed to stop chasing their approval and start believing in myself. That night, I went back to my apartment, opened my laptop, and promised myself that I would build a life that spoke louder than their insults ever could. I didn't tell anyone what happened. I didn't post on social media. I didn't complain. I just got to work. From that night onward, I changed. Not loudly. Not with big announcements or angry posts. Just quietly. I woke up early every day and worked. I took every freelance job I could find, even the ones that paid little, just to build experience and a portfolio. I updated my skills, watched tutorials, learned from other creatives online. I ate cheap meals, skipped weekends out, and focused on one thing: becoming someone I could be proud of. Not for them, not for anyone else, but for me. I wanted to stop feeling small in rooms full of people who looked down on me just because my life didn't match theirs. Months passed. Slowly, my work started to improve. Clients who once gave me tiny projects started sending bigger ones. One of them referred me to a well-known brand. It wasn't a huge deal at first, but that one job opened more doors. I was finally earning enough to save. I paid off some debts, bought a better laptop, got a new desk. My small apartment still had peeling walls, but it had something more important now: purpose. I still didn't share much with anyone. I just let the work speak. Then one evening, my younger brother called me. There was a birthday party for my grandfather coming up, a big family event with everyone invited. He told me he wanted me there. At first, I said no without thinking. The thought of seeing my parents again, after the last time, made my chest feel heavy. But then, something in me whispered, go! Not to prove anything. Not to rub success in anyone's face. Just to show myself that I wasn't afraid of them anymore. I wasn't the same guy who walked out that night feeling ashamed and broken. The day of the event, I got ready slowly. I didn't wear anything flashy. Just a well-fitted shirt, clean shoes, and confidence. The hall was similar to the last one. The same lights, the same music, the same familiar faces. But everything felt different. This time, I didn't walk in with my head down. I walked in like I belonged there. Because I did. I saw my parents standing near the entrance talking to a group of ants. My dad looked at me, then down at my watch. My mom gave a small, forced smile. You look decent, she said. I just nodded. Thanks. I sat with some younger cousins, and they started asking me about my work. I told them I was a designer, working freelance. One of them, a teenager who was studying design too, got really excited and started asking questions. I gave him some tips, told him where to learn for free, and even showed him a website I had designed recently. He was shocked. You did that? He asked. I smiled. Yeah. A few other relatives nearby heard the conversation and started listening in. Word spread fast, like it always does in families. Later that evening, my uncle, one of the most respected people in our family, came over and clapped me on the back. I heard you're doing some impressive work with that marketing firm. That's big stuff. You always were quiet, but I knew you'd do well one day. He said it loud enough for everyone, including my parents, to hear. My mom's face twitched, like she wasn't sure whether to be proud or embarrassed. My dad said nothing. He just took a sip of his tea, eyes looking anywhere but at me. As people kept asking me questions, talking kindly, showing genuine interest, I saw my parents standing a few steps away. My mother kept glancing over. My father finally walked up to me. For the first time in years, he spoke without sarcasm. We didn't know you were doing so well. I gave a calm smile. That's okay. I didn't need you to. There was no anger in my voice. Just honesty. That's when I saw it. A hint of regret in his eyes. My mother, too, came closer. You could have told us. We would have been happy to support you. I simply replied, I needed to learn how to support myself first. I didn't stay much longer. I said goodbye to a few cousins, hugged my grandfather, and walked out peacefully. No drama, no shouting, just peace. On the way home, I didn't feel sad or angry. I felt free. They had tried to break me in front of everyone. But in the end, it was that very moment that pushed me to grow stronger. On my own terms. I wasn't looking for revenge. Thank you for reading till the end. If you've ever been put down by the people who should have lifted you up, know this. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Just keep going quietly. One day, they'll hear your success without you saying a word. Like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories that hit home.